All right, guys. So what is a blog and how does it get me customers? So let's start with the problems first. Let's start with the things that you're thinking to yourself, well, these are the problems I'm having, right? So let's just think about this for a second, right? So you've maybe heard of blogging. You've maybe heard someone talk about content marketing. You're maybe a small business, a large, doesn't matter what type or size of business you are, B2B, B2C, you might be large, you might be small, you might be well established, it might be a startup, doesn't matter. You're thinking to yourself, this sounds like waffle to me, right? To write content and build a business, right? Is it possible? The short answer is yes, it is possible. There's tons of great examples out there. I'm going to show you some of them, and it does work, right? But you might be thinking to yourself, I've tried it. I've tried blogging. I've tried, in this case, blogging, but content marketing in general didn't work. I do write blogs, but no one reads them. I publish once a fortnight, once a month. It doesn't work. Nobody tells me. Nobody reads it. We're definitely not getting customers from it and or leads. Actually, I'm going to write that down. So you might be thinking to yourself, it just doesn't work. I'm putting all this effort in and all this time, but it's not getting many customers. Our SEO sucks. Like, you might be thinking to yourself, why can't I find my website on Google? How do I get my website onto the page one of Google, right? So you might be thinking to yourself, all these things, we're paying an agency thousands of pounds a month, but it doesn't seem to be making a difference. How can we do it better? Or I think we can do it better. I've heard of content marketing, don't know where to start with it. Sounds great, sounds like it's something we definitely should be doing, but we don't know where to start with it. Or maybe you're just thinking, generally speaking, our website sucks ass. All right, so those are the kind of problems that are solved by what we're about to talk about. I'm just going to jump on Facebook here, make sure that I've got your comments in here. So, like I said, share this with your friends. This is going to be a good one for them, right? So we're going to go through this in step by step, and I'm going to dispel some of the bullshit, basically, that people tell you. And they'll say something to you like, oh man, if your website's rubbish and your SEO stinks, what you need to do is you need to create valuable and helpful, relevant and unique content, and Google will reward you, right? That is like step one of the whole thing, right? So you're like, yeah, that makes lots of sense, right? So create lots of good content. Google sees this content going onto our website every week or every other day or whatever, and it wants to come back and visit our website and stuff like that. That's scratching the surface of what you actually need to do and why you need to do it. And that's only one part of it, right? The problem that people have, though, is they get told this, then they go out and they create the valuable, unique, helpful, relevant content. Google does crawl their website, but nobody's coming to their website. There's no traffic. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's reading it, blah, 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 right? It's not great advice, okay? It's advice that gets, like, basically, it's like a statement that most marketers say. It's not really the best advice, okay? It's correct, but it's not going to help you, right? And if you're, like I said, if you're a bigger organization, you might even be trying to get your head around this even more because you've maybe been around for like 30, 40 years. You've been through all the different types of advertising. And then you get to the digital age and you're like, everyone's talking about blogging. What the hell? Why would I want to tell people about what I'm up to every day, right? Because that's what a blog used to be, right? It used to be like a log, a web log, a diary, a schedule of stuff that you used to go out there and tell people about you and what you're doing and all that kind of stuff. You've probably heard of a vlog before. Excuse me while I pour my coffee. So that's what a blog started out as, right? It was very much about me, central, and it was all about these, about what I've been up to, right? And that's changed dramatically, like over a long period, well, a fairly short space of time, really, to be honest, right? So a blog is now very much integrated into your website, right? So, for example, someone that doesn't know the difference between a web page and a blog would probably not really know that they're on a blog, right? So if you ask someone, have you ever read a blog? They'll be like, no. And you'll be like, they probably have, they just didn't know, right? So the word blog is kind of like, there's so many definitions from it now. Some people look at it negatively, some people look at it positively. For example, right, one of the big phenomenons of the last 10 years is bloggers, right? People that are making a shitload of money, 7, 8 figures of 9 figures, right, from a blog, right? And you think to yourself, that's not a legitimate business. It totally is a legitimate business, right? It is probably more successful than a lot of the businesses on the planet, and it allows them to have a lifestyle as well, right? So there's bloggers out there that are making a lot of money, that have got legitimate businesses because they blog and share content that helps people and is valuable to people, right? So I think it's about appreciating and understanding that when someone says blog, we're not talking about this piddly little page on a website where we just talk about the news or the updates or blah, 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 right? That's not what it's all about. That's really not what it's all about. We need to elevate our thinking when it comes to blogs and just how important it is when we think about the next part. How does it get us customers, right? So you need to elevate your thinking. You need to respect the blog, respect that it is actually a thing that people do that makes them money and gets them customers, because it really is. Do not dismiss it. Blogging is not dead. We haven't got there yet. We're still in the infancy of how blogging can get customers and build businesses. It's still in the novice stages of understanding. So open your mind and think a bit differently about how this could be, what you could do. And the fact is, if you're sitting there dismissing it and thinking that it's not for you, there's a really good chance that your competitors are thinking the exact same way as you are. There's a massive opportunity for you to take advantage of it, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go over to my computer here. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you some examples of some blogs, just so we've got a really clear understanding of what a blog is. So you should be able to see my screen now, just checking, right? Good. So I'm just going to go through this really quickly. I've picked 5 or 6 people, 5 or 6 CMA members that have blogs and have been blogging for a long time and know what they're doing and why they're doing it. So first up, we've got Cara at Gillis and Mackay here, right? So just picking out some things that really matter when it comes to blogs, just so you can define a blog or see a blog, right? Typically, a blog is arranged in chronological order, right? It's a page on your website where you can publish content frequently and as often as you like. And what happens is the most recent post is at the top of the page, right? So when someone clicks on blog, what you've got in different, and Cara's got hers arranged in a different way than some of the other blogs you'll see in a second, but on the left-hand side there, that's the most recent blog on this page that I've picked. Okay, so when she publishes another one, that one will go on top and so on and so forth. That's how a blog looks. And you'll see other things like this on the right-hand side here. There'll be a search bar where you can search something. And each blog typically has a featured image, a title, and then the content and a button to read more. And then when we click on the read more button, we go into the actual piece of content, right? And what we see is it's a video, and there's a video transcription here we can read, and there's typically share buttons and the ability to leave comments in the blog as well, right? So that's like typical sort of features of a blog, or things that kind of stand out that you know it's a blog. There's usually a sidebar area, things like that, okay? So that's how you know that you're on a blog. Now, just to kind of pick up on some things here. This blog is what you need to apply for planning permission for your shed. Or the question is, what do I need for planning permission for a shed? You see another question here. Does a shed need planning permission? How long does it take to get a shed delivered? What's the difference between whitewood and redwood, or whitewood versus redwood? What timber should I look for in a shed? Midlands, how much does a shed cost? Garden shed, Scotland, reviews. Do you need planning permission for a shed? What is blah, 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 right? Now, the point I'm kind of going through all of this is you can see that a lot of them are questions, right? Questions that a prospective customer might have about the thing that Cara offers, okay? She's not going out there to promote her thing. She's answering the questions that people have. It's a really important dynamic. We're going to come back to that in a second. Quickly go through these though. Pixels Inc., Call Gray, Pixels Inc., graphic designer, brand ninja person, thing that just helps you makes everything look amazing. Example right behind me here. So he's got blogs, again, as you can see, arranged slightly differently on the page, right? So he's got them in sort of like a linear fashion here, or a vertical fashion, so you can see the blogs as you scroll down. And on the right-hand side, you can see here his recent posts, his recent comments, and any categories that you could dip into in the archives of the blog, right? Again, you can see something very similar to his approach, which is answering questions. What makes a great logo? What's the difference between free font and paid fonts? How long does it take to design a logo? What's the color wheel? Blah, 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 right? So questions and answers, again, on his blog. Again, you can see here that it's labeled as blog in the header. People know what a blog is now. They know what they're going to get when they get there. Over into Superfast IT, again, similar sort of setup here. Their articles are in a vertical fashion. They've got search. You can see that you can sign up to their email newsletter. That's another thing you'll see a lot on blogs as well, is the ability to get more information from that company, their most recent articles here too. And then you can see, again, they're doing comparisons like Office 365 versus G Suite. What Office 365 plan should I buy for my small business? Note, worded in a way that someone would type into Google. what are the common problems with IT support companies, right? So there's a couple of examples. Then we go over to Fin & Co. So that's you've had a couple of B2B examples. Now another B2C example. And Pam at Fin & Co. hair salon, her blog's laid out kind of similar to Cara's, which is in tiles. So how can you tell it's time for a haircut? How much does a haircut cost? Again, you can see subscription on the right hand side, recent posts, etc. So again, a different layout, but again, blog is listed here. And then you've got our blog. Our blog doesn't have a sidebar area, and it's done, and again, in a vertical fashion, so you can scroll down. Again, you've got to think mobile with these sort of things. Again, if you click on one of ours, you'll see this is a guest article, which is something, again, you can do. You can see who the author is, you can see the date, you can see how many comments there are, you can see the title, you can see the share buttons, and you scroll down, and then you've got the ability to go to further content or add a comment, subscribe to our 10-day crash course, and then into our footer section. Okay, so these are typical areas you'll see. The things that you'll notice, though, are, and typically you'll see this on good websites, people have thought about it as like a really white or light colored background and really black text, right? Something that kind of pops out. So it's really easy to read, not just on a desktop, but on a mobile device as well. Really important. And then we've got tea break togs, a couple of things here that Julie's done really well. Again, our blogs are forefront, like it's our first thing here on our menu bar. You can see that she's got a featured image for each one, a title and a description, and then you can go into more detail here. But did you notice our sidebar? Watch what happens when I scroll down on the sidebar. It sticks. So those 4 call to actions are always on the sidebar, and you can see that she's saying, like, she's adding value. She's showcasing her community's work, but she's also adding value by sending out information to, these are business people who are building photography businesses. So the books that they need to read, how to follow up with your customers, paid versus free, all of that good stuff, and she's great on video, right? So she's got a balance between video blogs and written blogs. So does Call, so does Cara. So there's a mix between there. So a blog isn't necessarily always about the writing. It can be a video as well. So that's what a blog is, right? So that's step 1, right? So those are the examples that we have. I wanted to show you there about what a blog is. So there's a lot more to it, and I've covered this in other videos as well. It's a lot more to it than just like throwing up some words, right? There's thought gone into the title. There's thought gone into the opening paragraphs and the structure. There's thoughts gone into the close. There's thoughts gone into the design of the blog and how it's laid out and how it makes it really easy for people to read. There's thought gone into the call to actions on the sidebar. There's thoughts gone into exactly how this article would be found if someone was typing into Google, right? That's all been thought out in a deliberate fashion over a course of time, right? It's just that is very deliberate strategy and tactic for getting customers. Okay, so I want you to appreciate that it's not just, oh, we're going to write a blog, blah, 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 do a blog and just write about whatever we want. There's thought and there's some strategy behind there in terms of what we're going to write, when we're going to write it, and how we're writing it. So the key thing here, though, is I want you to, let's go into the next question, right? So now that we've got an idea of what a blog is, and by the way, if you've got any questions about what is a blog or something wasn't clear, or if I talk too fast, which is something that I tend to do, then please ask in the comments section or email me, chris@cmauk.co.uk, and ask me the question, right? And I'll cover it. But how does a blog get you customers, right? This is the key thing. So taking the examples we've already had, let's talk about this. Now, what I know to be true is that the best organizations in the world are just really great at understanding their customers, right? They can put themselves in their shoes and understand it from their perspective. And when you do that, that's potentially the most valuable, but also the biggest change you can make to how you communicate is to communicate from their perspective. Think about how they feel and what they see and what's happening in their lives, right? That's the best approach to take. So you're not going out there thinking, how can I get people to buy more of my thing? You're actually thinking, what questions are they asking that I need to answer so that they can even find me to understand that I have a thing that I could offer them, right? So let's take an example, right? Imagine that you wanted to buy a new summer house. You look out in the garden, you see this grassy patch there, the sun shines on it for most of the day, and you'd love to have a summer house out there. You can almost imagine you and your partner having a glass of Prosecco out there, right? You see the summer house, you know you want it. what is the first thing you're going to do? The first thing that people typically do is jump onto Google and they'll start looking at best summer houses, or they'll start to look for different types of summer houses, different designs. They'll start to look at different colours, different paint, different designs, different things. And then they'll start to build a picture of what they want. And they'll think to themselves, actually, how much is this going to cost us? How much is it going to cost for a summer house? In fact, looking at it looks as though we might need to do some landscaping actually. What kind of foundation do we need? And also we've got neighbours here. Do we need planning permission? And I've noticed there's different types of wood, different pitches, right? Tons of questions they're asking, right? And they don't even know which company they want to buy from yet, right? So you've got to think, that's just a simple example, right? But that's what your prospective customers are doing too. They've got a problem, they've got a question, and they're looking for the answers to that, right? And if you're out there just sort of pitching and promoting your thing, then they aren't going to find you. And that's just the reality. It's called the zero moment of truth, and that 70% of the buying decision is made online before making contact with your business for the first time, okay? So just understanding that principle. I know I've covered this a lot in the videos before in the past, but understand, I can't stop saying it. I need to say it all the time. Google and the 70% are the two important things. Understanding what people are typing into Google, a question or problem, because they're in that 70% space, they're educating themselves about the thing, right? They're not ready to buy yet. They want answers to their questions. And that's why you'll see Call, Julie, Pam, Cara, the guys at Superfast IT, Alex and James, answering questions as blog articles, right? They're not just going out there and sharing news. They're not like, hey, we're amazing. Look at what we can do. We're so great. And we won this award and we gave money to charity and we're so amazing. And oh, by the way, there's this new cyber hacks come up, blah, 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 blah. They're writing answers to questions and solutions to problems. And the questions that I said about the summer house, right? They're writing best of articles. They're writing price and cost articles. They're writing comparison and reviews articles as well, and problem articles. We saw one of them as well. So those are the things that really matter when people are thinking about buying something, when they're aware that they've got a problem or they need a solution to something. That's what they're doing, right? So thinking about a blog, right? And you think to yourself, well, what's the potential here for me in terms of a blog? Well, the great thing is a blog does allow you to create valuable, helpful, relevant, and unique content for your audience. But the biggest shift is not that. The biggest shift is you communicating with your customer and your prospective customer at the heart of everything that you do, right? Answering their questions, giving them as much information as you possibly can to help teach them and educate them about their problem and understand it better, so that they become a qualified customer for you. And then it links into organic traffic, right? So when someone types into Google someone types something into Google, they find you, right? They don't find you maybe for your key search terms, right? But they find you for their key search terms, right? Which is a question that they've typed into Google. You pop up with something helpful. It might be a video, a blog, whatever. That organic traffic, then they might look at 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 pages on your website. They might download your advising ebook, the thing that helps people to make a better buying decision. All of a sudden, they're a lead, a customer, a prospective customer in your funnel, right? In your sales funnel. And then all of a sudden this stuff starts to work, right? So you need to see you need to understand the sales cycle, the buying cycle for people, understand the journey that they're going through, and then create content for each of those stages. Typically it's through a blog that people do this, right? Because the blog is a place where you can publish and publish and publish and publish, answer the questions, categorize them, put it all together, organize it really well. But the key thing here is that the advice that people get, or the problems that they have are because of this, is that someone says to them, just go out there and create valuable and unique content and Google will reward you. Not entirely accurate, right? If you do it correctly, Google will value the content and reward you for it by giving you traffic, right? And it's by these principles here that I've just mentioned that matter the most, right? So the question being, what is a blog and how does it get us customers? Understanding what a blog is and appreciating just how valuable it is for your business, and then adding that to how does this get us customers is understanding consumer buyer behavior online, how people are making buying decisions, creating content that helps them make those decisions, make better decisions and make those decisions faster, and you being the one that's educating and teaching them and saying to yourself that I am responsible for this as the person who has all the knowledge and all the skills and all the experience. I've been in graphic design for 19 years. I should be the one that's answering these questions. I should be the one that's teaching these people all about the thing. Why is someone else doing it? It should be me. I should be the Wikipedia of our industry. I should be getting all of this traffic. I should be getting all of these customers. And this is exactly how I'm going to grow my business and build my business. It's not just about creating fun and exciting and fluffy content, right? This is about building a business. This is about getting customers. And a blog is an absolutely legitimate way to do that. It's not just a legitimate way to do that. It's in some ways the best way to do it. So think about the problems you have. And if you're trying it and it's not working, there's a good chance you're not doing it correctly. You're not doing it in the way that's going to attract the right types of people. You're not thinking about your customer. You're thinking about yourself and how you can sell more of your thing. You have to put them at the heart of it first. Then you can start to sell your thing to them, right? And if your SEO is crap or your website's crap, or generally speaking, business is crap because we're not getting customers, then you need to be thinking about this stuff and how it can grow your business. And that's what we do. We teach people this every single day. I've been looking at blog articles and websites today to help people get this stuff better, do it correctly, build their businesses. And to do that, for me to coach you, only costs £399 for a whole year, right? So that is like less than it is to hire me to come to your business for a day, right? So it's a no-brainer. If you want to move fast and you want to narrow in on this stuff and focus down on it and get advice on all the things that you need advice on, and all the things that I've shared today, then you need to come into CMA. You need to come in, you need to get involved, and we're here to help you. Me and all the people I've talked about and 100 more are there, all on the same journey as you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, any comments, any questions, any ideas or thoughts, into the comments section. Email me, chris@cmauk.co.uk. Share it with your friends, let them know about it, and I will catch up with you later on. Have a great day, and don't forget to be awesome.